Hey, Courtney here from 1 and 3, coming to you from Futuresounds IV, the 3-stage, completely free mini music festival at the Crown Sceptre. We're here to give you a snapshot of the 21 acts, some of the best electronic acts in Adelaide, plus an interview with Tom and Pat, directors of Futuresounds. Okay, we're here with Pat and Tom, who are going to tell us all about the Future Sound Festival, plus what Future Sounds get up to just on the reg anyway. Can you tell us a little bit about Future Sounds?
We're like a collective of Adelaide electronic musicians. Really just started with, because Tom and I were both electronic musicians who were sick of only playing with rock bands. We wanted some more shows of just electronic musicians together.
Yep.
And it's really just grown from there, just building a community of all sorts of subgenres of electronic music and really just building that to get to as big an audience as possible.
So Futuresounds IV is our fourth input of the festival, not the fourth year. We've had a steady increase from the first one, which was 4 acts, up to now, which is now 21 acts, which is pretty huge. And we're going to try and be really ambitious and have 3 stages.
It's a little late and too soon. I've forgotten myself to mundane pursuits, and I hardly think of you. It's a little late.
So how did you come about choosing all of the acts for Future Sounds?
Well, we also run a fortnightly show called Sidechain, which is over at the Producers Bar. And that's a lot of that is about access for people, for pairing people up who might be doing their first gig with people who are a bit more experienced. So we've discovered a lot of great people through that. We've been running it for it's our birthday for that in August. We've nearly been running it for a year, which is really exciting.
That is exciting.
So basically everyone who is playing this Future Sounds is someone who has played a sidechain at some point. So we are literally we want to create like a pathway for electronic artists in Adelaide from, we might find you on Facebook or SoundCloud or whatever, and then we can give you a sidechain, then we can give you this, and it's not just about putting gigs on, it is about creating that community and creating that pathway for artists in Adelaide.
I was for you, for you, for you.
So can you tell us a little bit more about some of the acts on the lineup?
A couple of fairly new acts that we've discovered who we're really excited about are Kimono No, who are going to be on the main stage.
Folex, a personal favourite of mine, really nice beat stuff.
The Art of Flying Kites, they're going to be fantastic actually. It's like minimal techno. Big headliner is How Green, who makes these really wonderful kind of wonky, almost sort of Flying Lotus-esque kind of beats. Really sort of psychedelic and ethereal. So he's going to be headlining our beat stage.
We've had some acts who performed their first shows at Sidechain, and they've sort of moved on to have really, really great things. So, for example, a duo called Raygun, they had their first show, when it was just one drummer, and then they've sort of moved on to play really nice things.
And it was Joy and Sparks, her first proper solo show was with us, and she's been getting absolutely massive and is one of the big features on our beat stage as well. We also mentioned Hummingbird before, which is the project of Eleanor, who's a loom, and Suda, who is one of the Unts guys. And they make this really, really beautiful kind of moody pop with these soulful vocals.
We've got Lonelyspeck, who is just the amazing, humble Sione. What's his name? Yeah, it's like ridiculously amazing dream pop. Listen to Heat Death. It's a really good song. And just his whole EP.
Animal Shadows, who is sitting not a million miles away from me right at this moment.
This guy.
Who makes a sort of ambient pop with, boyish vocals, I've heard said, and lots of glockenspiel samples. You do love a good glockenspiel drum.
I do.
Yeah, but it's very catchy, it's very moody.
Datakae, who I saw him perform last at 10 a.m. at an O Week, and you know what, if that's not the most ridiculous time and place to play as a beats performer, then I don't know what is. He's really, really awesome, very well produced, just nice ambient beats. I've got R. Domain, who makes really awesome ambient music. He'll be in this room on the experimental stage.
It's like sort of droney, dark, ambient, made all with proper analog modular synthesis. Tristan Louth Robbins, who's come and played a couple of shows for us, he's a proper sort of sound design type guy. He's often off sound recording bits of the Flurio Peninsula and things like that. And we've also got Seacant, who are playing on the main stage, who are like a guitar and keys duo, who make sometimes caustic, sometimes beautiful, sometimes anywhere in between. You never quite know what frequency is going to be emitting from any instrument. You're not sure which instrument produces what sound. And also from our last announcement was Freeze Dream, who Freeze Dream's really exciting. He makes it's kind of like experimental ambient chiptune, if that makes sense.
Nope, not at all.
I think he built like a 90s PC just to use the software that he makes music with, which is preposterous.
So you were saying before in the lineup there is quite a few different sub-genres. Is that something that is happening a lot in Adelaide? Are we seeing lots of sub-genres of electronic music in Adelaide?
I think we're seeing lots of sub-genres everywhere for electronic music, and just electronic music is becoming... It is the zeitgeist at the moment. We are right at the moment where electronic music is happening. You know, like for people like Chet Faker, for example, to be doing so well would have been unheard of, you know, a decade ago. So it is about the right time and the right place. But even within Adelaide, we've found everything, Tom. I mean, we've had ambient, we've had EDM, we've had those vaporwave kids, we've had all sorts really. Great electropop and everything in between. So we've found that Adelaide is really, really rich in terms of variety.
I mean, I guess when you think about it, on the main stage we're going to have Nakatomi, who's like synth pop rock sort of stuff, and then really, really awesome pop, epic pop, and then we're just going to move into an act called Xanga, who is like Brazilian styled beats, and it's just incredible, and you're just going to have so much fun.
There's like congas and chanting and this instrument that I never remember what it's called, but it's got a string and you hit it with the bow and it goes dong 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 dong, and the whole thing is just, we had him play a sidechain a little while ago, and like it wasn't a massive room, but everyone just came in and was just dancing and having such a great time.
And I think that you can either see Xanga play or you can see the amazing Lonelyspeck play. And I think if you can sort of contrast those two, it really gives a good view of how diverse Adelaide music really is.
He estado pensando en lo que he estado sembrando, lo que hago de vez en cuando, las ideas que sigo comprando, que la búsqueda confunde, que siempre hay otro rumbo, que me lleva a los lados del mundo, y vuelvo pensando profundo.
The nature of electronic music is it's a lot of people in their bedrooms.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really, I think our motto should be get out of the bedroom, really should be, you know, and the number of times we've spent speaking to people about how to run their laptop interfaces live and things like that, because people just haven't considered it. But I think we're at a point now where electronic music as a live phenomenon is very, very feasible, you know, and people are now getting to the point where they're used to coming out and seeing someone with a laptop, and that's okay.
I love the fact that some guy can turn up into a venue with his backpack, and relying completely on himself, he can just blow a crowd away. It's really, really cool to have such power in such a small amount.
Every time I dance